So we will do weight transfer process for CVD graphene. CVD graphene is a wafer and coated on both sides of copper. As you can see, copper foil. And there is one layer on the top and the second layer at the bottom. This is for CVD graphene. We need to cut the graphene to small pieces for any area which we need to do for the fabrication process. As you can see, I have some sample here and I have another sample here. So to do the weight transfer process, first I need to coat one layer of graphene, either on the top or at the bottom, any layer we need. Then I have to remove the uncoated layer of CVD graphene. After that, I have to etch the copper foil for some steps with etching solution. At the end, I'll keep the polymer which protect any layer I have chosen. Then we will transfer it to our substrate. We will see each step. So the first step, I have to put a PMMA layer on the top. The same what we did for the spin coating process. As you can see, I'll place the PMMA layer on the top. Then I'll spin it. Also 3000 rotation per 30 seconds. Now the solution will be spread and I'll get smooth layer on the top of the graphene. After this step, I have to make baking the process for 1 minute at 180 Celsius. 180 Celsius. Finish. Now I have to remove my coating and I'll bring my tweezer. I'll bring another tweezer. Keep it on the hot plate for 1 minute at 180 Celsius. Then we will start the etching process. Now is ready for the etching process. So now I have coated the PMMA on the top of one layer. After this heating or the baking, I need to keep the sample to cool down for 15 minutes. Then after that, I start etching a process. As we said, on the top, PMMA, then the graphene, then copper foil, then the second graphene layer on the back side. So I'll start etching from the back side to remove the second graphene layer. Then I'll remove the copper foil. At the end, I'll get just PMMA with one graphene layer and you will see it. We'll complete the etching process after 10 minutes. Now we will etch the second graphene layer and I put the sample floated in nitric acid solution. This I'll keep it for 2 minutes. Then after this etching, we need to float my sample in DI water to stop etching process. After this, I'll move to the last step of etching in ammonium persulfide to completely remove the copper foil. Then after that, we will start the weighted transfer process. 1 minute and a half left. The most important point now, how to carry the sample after you etch the second graphene layer. I'll use this small lens to remove the sample from the nitric acid to the DI water. This is the process should be followed. Now I need to keep my sample in DI water for 1 minute. And keep shaking. This one will stop etching the second graphene layer. I'll wash the lens just in case if there is some nitric acid. Keep everything clean. I now put it in ammonium persulfide. This one we need to keep it for about 10 to 12 hours until we remove the copper foil and we can see transparency layer. We will complete after 12 hours. After around 11 hours and a half, I can see a transparency layer floated in water. As you can see, I move it from the ammonium persulfide to DI water, and I have to keep it for 20 minutes just to stop etching the process to avoid affecting the graphene layer. Here, as we can see, there is PMMA layer, and underneath there is a graphene layer. That's the first layer which I protected with the PMMA. Now I need to transfer the graphene to the empty square here, as you can see in the middle. This to complete my device, and you will see the transferring process. You can see now how is the sample will be moved. Now my samples in the center, I have to place it. This will take some time. Yes. Now I'll keep the sample in vacuum for around 3 hours for a drying process. After that, we will remove the PMMA layer from the top of the graphene by acetone, and you will get a transparency graphene layer. We cannot see it. We will use optical microscope to see it. This is the weight transfer process overall. So after we did the transfer process for the graphene with the PMMA layer, I removed the PMMA layer and I kept the graphene on the center of silicon, which will make the Schottky contact. Then I place 2 wires to make the contact, the proper contact. As you can see, the graphene in the middle and 1 wire on the top, on the gold, for the front contact and the second contact on the back side. This one for ohmic contact. Now my sample or the graphene silicon Schottky junction solar cell is ready for the measurement. We can test it by normal voltmeter meter or ketlemeter, but we will use the ketlemeter to ensure the best measurement and get the efficient result for my sample. We finished the fabrication process. We covered the cleaning process, then lithography process. After that, we form coating for the front and the ohmic contact. And the last step, it was for weight transfer process. Then the sample ready. We place 2 wires for measurement, JB calculators, and we will see the result.